All right, so this is buying a house with a mortgage. So this is an interesting section because obviously it's very practical for people that want to buy homes. Buying a house with a mortgage. So this is an interesting section because obviously it's very practical for people that want to buy homes. You could see how they calculate the mortgage payment and interest. So let's get into it. So upon completion, you're going to be able to solve problems involving conventional mortgages, solve problems involving adjustable rate. We're not going to look at adjustable. We're just going to go with the conventional um, fixed interest rate. All right. So a homeowner's mortgage is a long-term loan in which the property is pledged as security for payment of the difference between the down payment and the sale price. So when some people buy a home, they typically put a down payment and then you subtract the down payment from the price of the home, and then that's what you finance through a bank. So let's look at the process. There are two types of loans: a conventional loan, which is a fixed rate, or the adjustable rate, which we're not going to go over, so I'm just going to cross this out. Most people do conventional loans, I think. The major difference between the two is that the interest rate for conventional is fixed. It doesn't change. That's why people like that, because they know what they're getting for the duration of the loan. Usually it's 30 years. Most loans are 30 years. Whereas the interest rate for the variable loan may change every period. So that's kind of scary to think, because what if it goes high? Then you're kind of stuck with the high interest rate. So lending institutions may require the buyer to pay one or more points for a loan at the time of closing. So they call them closing costs, and they're called points. So if it's 1 point, that's 1%. If it's 2 points, that's 2%, so on and so on. Each point represents a percent. The final step in the sale process. According to the IRS, points are interest prepaid by the buyer and may be used to reduce the stated interest rate the lender charges. So I guess it's a way to reduce the interest rate. If you pay points up front, that could drop your interest rate, which might be good in the long run. 1 point is equal to 1% of the loan. So 2 points would be 2%. 3 points would be 3%. All right, so here's an example. The Martinezes wish to purchase a house selling for $749,000. They plan to obtain a loan from their bank. The bank requires a 15% down payment payable to the seller and a payment of 2 points payable to the bank at the time of closing. So there's a lot going on. So this is the selling price. This is the down payment. And the number of points is 2 points that they need to pay at closing. All right, so let's see what the first question is asking. Determine the Martinez's down payment. So the down payment is 15% of the selling price. So we have to multiply those two. So the selling price times 15%, which is 0.15. So if you get your calculators out, you will see that would be what? 749,123 times 0.15. That's about, this person would have to put a lot of money down. That's a lot. $112,350 down payment. There's programs for first-time home buyers where this is probably like 3% or 2%. I forget what the percent is for first-time buyers, but it's not that high. But anyways, now you can see why so many people are not able to afford a home. That's a lot of money for a down payment.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what else we have. So that's the down payment. All right, the next question is saying, determine the amount of the Martinez's mortgage. So the mortgage is, how much do they owe? Well, you subtract the down payment from the selling price, and that tells you the mortgage. So I'll write that. Mortgage is equal to selling price minus down payment. So the selling price was $749,000. Down payment is $112,350. So the mortgage is going to be whatever that difference is. And it turns out to be, this is how much they're going to owe the bank, $636,650 total is how much they have to pay back. Or that's how much they're going to have to borrow from the bank to pay off that mortgage. All right. Let's see what the next question is asking. Determine the cost of the 2 points paid by the Martinez's on their mortgage. So remember, 2 points means 2%. So they're going to be paying two points on their mortgage. So now you have to multiply this by 2%. So it's going to be 636,650 times 0.02. That's how much it's going to cost. They're to pay for the 2 points. So that's going to be times 0.02. So they're going to have to pay $12,733 in closing costs. And usually what the banks do, they'll just add that to the mortgage. And so you don't have to really pay this up front. They'll just add it to the total mortgage. And then you'll just pay off a bigger mortgage instead of having to pay this up front. All right, so that's how much, that's going to be the closing costs. All right, so if this would have been 3 points, then you would have multiplied by 0.03. If it was 1 point, 0.01, so on and so on.
So the 12,733, that's the closing cost?
Yeah, closing costs, right.
Okay.
All right. So let's look at the last part of the question. I think there's one more question coming. Well, now they're going to talk about something. Qualifying for a mortgage. Banks use a formula to determine the maximum monthly payment that they believe is within the purchaser's ability to pay. So that's what the bank is going to look at, your income and I guess other factors to see how much you would qualify for. And then they calculate the adjusted monthly income, which equals the gross monthly income minus any fixed monthly payment. All right, so let's see what they mean over here. They multiply that result by 28%. That is the maximum monthly payment the lending institution believes the purchaser can afford. This includes principal, interest, tax, and insurance. So they calculate your adjusted monthly income, however much money you make per month, minus fixed monthly payments, like if you own a car or like if you're making other payments, they subtract that from your monthly income to see how much you can afford. And then they multiply that by 0.28. And that's the maximum monthly payment that they believe that you can afford. And if you meet that requirement, then they'll give you the loan. If you don't meet that requirement, then they won't give you the loan. All right, so that's how it works. And this is a formula that they use to calculate your monthly payment, your payment. So M is the principal amount that you need to pay per month with interest included. All right, P is the amount of the mortgage. R is the interest rate. N is the number of payments per year. And T is the time that you're gonna pay off the loan. And most of the time it's 30 years. So there's a lot of variables here. So let's find out what Martinez's monthly principal and interest payment is going to be for a 30-year loan. And this is how much he owes. Remember, we calculated it. We calculated the amount, the mortgage that he was going to owe. or he or she, that's the mortgage that they're gonna owe. So now we can figure out the monthly payments. And they tell us that the interest rate is, that's a little high. That's a lot high, actually. Let's change it, because nowadays, I think the rates are a lot lower. I'm just gonna say like, let's just say 3.5. You can Google it right now. Let me Google it real fast. What are the current interest rate for homes for 30-year fixed? Interest rate for 30-year mortgage. It says about a 4.9. 4.9. So let's just go with 4.9. That's what it says on Google. So 4.9. That's the current rates. All right, now let's go ahead and find out what this monthly payment is going to be for the Martinez family. So I'm going to copy and paste this formula. All right, so the principal, the P, stands for how much the mortgage is. It's 636, 650, I believe. Yeah, 650 times R over N. R is the interest rate, 0.49. So that's going to be 0.049. You have to convert it to a decimal, 4.9. And then your number of times per year. How many payments are there per year? Well, there's 12 months and you pay every month, right? So there's 12 payments per year. So for homes, usually it's 12 months, 12 payments per year. And then the bottom is 1 minus 1 plus 0.049 over 12 to the negative 12 times 30. Because there's 30 years, it's a 30-year loan. So negative 12 times 30, put that in parentheses as well. The exponent, you can put that in parentheses. All right, so this is what we have to enter into our calculator. The hardest part is going to be that, entering it into your calculator. So let me show you how I would do it on my calculator. All right, so let's share my calculator. The top, the numerator. If you guys have a calculator like this, click on math, go to fraction, and then the very first one. I think it's super helpful to do this if you have it. If you don't have a calculator like this one, then you'll have to just do it with your calculator. 636, 650 times 0.049 divided by 12. Go down to the denominator now. So I use the arrow key to get to the denominator. Now we have to plug in the denominator. So it's 1 minus parentheses 1 plus 0.049 divided by 12, close parentheses, exponent. For me, this is the exponent button, this arrow that points up. And then negative 12. For my calculator, I don't need the parentheses, but for your calculator, you might, depending on the type of calculator you have, times 30. All right, so there it is. Whatever this turns out to be is our final answer. Enter. So this would be the monthly payment that the Martinez family would have to pay per month. So it turns out to be, and this includes interest. So it would be $3,378.87 per month. is the monthly payment for this mortgage. All right, any questions on how to plug that in? So you should definitely practice with your own calculator to see if you can get the same answer, because a lot of people on the test will get it wrong, even though they have the right numbers, but they get it wrong because they don't know how to plug it into their calculators. They never practice. So if you need to practice to be sure that you're doing it right. All right, so that is that. Let's go back to our notes. And then it'll do all this for you. You don't have to worry about the formula, but now you know what's going on behind the scenes. This is the formula that they use. All right, by repeatedly using the simple interest formula month to month on unpaid balance, you could calculate the principal and the interest for all the payments, which is a tedious task. Remember the simple interest formula? You would have to do it 12 times every year, and it was just a lot of work. But this does it all for you in one calculation instead of doing the simple interest formula, which is a tedious task. However, a list containing the payment number, payment on the interest payment of the principal can be prepared using a computer. Such a list is called a loan amortization schedule. So they'll have schedules for you. Like for this is for a 7% rate, interest rate. The loan is for 211, and there's 30 years times 12. That's 360 payments total. And then they'll give you the chart. So the first payment will be the interest plus, the principal plus the interest, which is, this is the amount. All right. And then the second payment would be this plus this, third payment, fourth payment. But you don't really need this, because with the formula, you get everything combined into one payment. So that's pretty much it. For that, I do want to cover 10.6 today. That way, next class, we can just focus on the exam review. But before we get into the next section, let's try a homework problem out. So let me pick a problem for you guys to work on. Let's go to the homework screen. All right, 10.5 homework. Oh no, I don't have it here. I'll have to add it. I have it, I just have to add it. All right, so let me see, 10.5. Here it is, found it. All right, so let me share my screen now. You can get this homework assignment if you don't have it already. Trying to pick a good problem. There's no like standard problems. Let's see, what is the amount of mortgage? All right, here we go. 14, number 14 looks good. See, there's the first time home buyer. That's the FHA. They only have to put down 3% for down payment. So that's nice. All right. So why don't you guys try number 14? Let me put the assignment in the chat room if you don't already have it. So try number 14 out, and let me give you guys a file just in case you don't have it. So here it is. Wait a minute. All right. Hopefully you guys see it in the chat. There's the homework assignment. So try out number 14. I'll give you guys like 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and get in. Just remember to put this parentheses and this parentheses there. and then there's your exponent. Yeah, well, if you guys, all
Okay.
right, after you guys tried the homework. All right, so this is called ordinary annuity. So an annuity, let's define that. Annuity is an account into which or out of which the sequence of a scheduled payment is made. So basically, it's kind of like an investment, and you can like invest in an annuity, and then it'll accumulate interest, and then so it's a form of investment. So here's your formula. The annuity is going to be worth the principal amount that you put in, and then you have 1 plus R over N to the N times T minus 1 all over R over N. All right, so it's another one of those scary looking formulas, but let's see if we can plug this into our problem. So example 1, it says Bill deposits $250 each quarter in an ordinary annuity at 4% interest compounded quarterly. Find the accumulated amount after 35 years. So let's just write what everything is. P is 250. R is 0.04. N is compounded quarterly. Anybody know what N is for quarterly?
4.
Yeah, 4. Because 4 quarterly means 4. And then 35 years, that's your T. All right, so you put in all these values into your formula. And the hard part, once again, is using the calculator correctly. So that's going to be P 1 plus 0.04 over 12, no, over 4
250.
to the exponent of 4 times T, 4 times 35. You probably want to put that in parentheses too, the exponent part. And then
Why
minus,
did you put 4 times 35?
oh, because of the, you know how the formula says N times T?
Oh,
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's N times T.
what does N stand for?
N represents the number of times that interest is compounded per year. So in this case,
Oh, okay.
compounded 4 times because quarterly means 4 times. All right,
Oh,
all right. All of that divided by R over N. And for that, I recommend parentheses as well. So parentheses around the denominator, parentheses around the exponent. So lots of parentheses. All right, so let's plug this in.
Oof.
So this looks kind of,
Oh,
yeah,
wait, I missed something. Wait. Oh, wait, no, that goes there. So the exponent goes before -1.
yeah, definitely before
Okay,
minus 1.
4 times 35. And then a little parentheses around there, and then
Another parentheses, because it's square bracket followed by parentheses. 1 plus 0.04 divided by 4, close parentheses, and then you do the exponent. So the exponent comes after the parentheses, and then it's going to be 4 times 35. So that should be in parentheses as well. Or depending on your calculator. For my calculator, I don't need the parentheses in the exponent, but for yours, you might. And then make sure you go to the right so that your cursor's now back down here. Now you do the -1 because you don't want the -1 inside the exponent. You want it on the bottom. Close bracket. All right, that's the entire numerator. I'm going to push enter.
Wait.
wait, no. Oh, 4 times
Okay.
35.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
the numerator. You still
Oh,
have to
crap.
you still
Professor,
have-
how did you go back down to the regular one?
Let's see. I'll
Like
show you.
after you plugged in the exponent, how did you go back down to -1?
Oh, I just used this arrow key, this one,
Oh.
and then it goes down.
All right, hold on. I gotta plug this back in.
Yeah, all right. And now I'm doing the
One
denominator. See the denominator?
plus
Oh, I got that.
point
Okay.
0.04
So there it is, final answer.
divided by 4. Exponent 4 times 35 parentheses. Oh crap. Times 35 close parenthesis minus 1, and then you give me 756,774. Okay, I got that.
You got it? All
Okay,
right.
what do we,
I got
what
the
do we
first
do
answer.
after? Okay, what do we do after that? If we get the first
Then-
answer?
Divide. You're gonna divide, right?
Yeah,
Divide,
divide by the
Divided
denominator.
by
divide,
parentheses
Parentheses.
0.04
.04
times 4. Divided by. Sorry.
divided by
Delete.
4
Divided by 4. Close
parentheses.
parentheses. Is
Okay, I got it.
75,677.48.
77.48.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
That's a lot.
yeah, it's a lot. Definitely a lot. All right, so yeah, you just have to be comfortable with your own calculators. Let's look at the next one.
Yeah, I have to
So-
like write this down.
So parentheses.
You need to- Yeah.
Arrow up. I literally have to write like arrow up so I could put the 4 times 35 and then arrow across. And then I'll put the minus 1. So I can remember to do that. Enter. And then we're gonna parentheses 0.0 divided by 4. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Ready.
All right, let's look at number 2 now. So to save money to start a new business, Sandra Jesse invest $200 each quarter in an ordinary annuity with 5% interest compounded quarterly. Determine the accumulated amount in Sandra's annuity after 20 years. Okay, so the same thing. Let's start off with figuring out what all the variables represent. P represents 200. All right, because that's how much she's putting in.
Is 200.
All right.
R is 0.05 because it's 5%.
Yeah, 0.05.
0.05. The N is gonna be 4 because it's quarterly.
4.
Quarterly again, 4.
And then the time is 20.
20 years, yeah.
20 years, that's right. All right, so let's practice by going, go ahead and try this on your calculators. Let me know what you guys get.
Okay, so it's gonna be 200. I gotta write it down first. 200,
Yeah, that's all right.
200, and then 2 close parentheses. It's gonna be 1 plus 0.04. 0.05. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. 0.05 divided by 4. Close parentheses and we'll arrow up, and then it's going to be 5 times 20 close parentheses, and then that answer is going to be divided by
Isn't it 4 times 20?
5. Would it be 5?
oh, it's quarterly, right?
Yeah,
No,
quarterly.
4. 4.
4 times 20, and then at the bottom it's 0.05 divided by 4. Okay, now I just need to plug this in. All right, let's get the plug in. 200 close open.
Mr. Hernandez, this one's much easier than the other one.
Oh, it is?
It is, and the other one you did, the one that you didn't record.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, this
So this-
one's much easier.
Oh, good to hear. So this is what I got, and my final answer, let's see if you guys are getting the same.
4 times 20.
So that's what I get.
Divided by, close parentheses, 0, divided by 4. Oh, wait a minute. That's not what I got. I did something wrong. Hold on. On the right numbers. 8 over n. N is 4.
I got
I got something else.
You're good.
54, 5.
Oh, I know what I didn't do. I didn't do the minus one part.
Oh, that's what I forgot.
Hold on, let me go back in.
Ugh.
Go back in, let's see what, if you guys can fix that.
Yeah. So it's supposed to
You
be
you
close
put that in
parentheses.
after the
After the
parent-
4 times, yeah, after the 4 times 35, you're supposed to,
parentheses.
you're supposed to click the arrow to the right and it'll bring it down. And then you're supposed to do -1. I forgot to do it. All right, I got it. I knew I was gonna find it. All right, here we go. 200. Close. 1 plus 0.05 divided by 4, close parentheses, arrow up, open parentheses, 4 times 20. Oh no, I have 35 here. It's supposed to be 20. 4 times 20, close parentheses, arrow down, -1, then enter. And then that answer divided by, close parentheses, 0.05 divided by 4, close parentheses, 27,223.76, because it turns out to be 7.75905. So the 9 will make the 5 6.
Yeah, exactly right. You got it.
All right.
Nice. All right. Anybody else get it? Or still working on it?
I think I got mixed up. The -1. Which one do we? The arrow. Which arrow is it?
So when you're putting it in the calculator,
Yeah.
you know how when you do the arrow up for the exponent,
Yeah.
the gray arrows, like the up, down, left, right arrows,
Yeah.
you're just gonna click the right, click once to the right, and it'll bring that back down, and then you'll just do -1.
The one to the right.
Yeah, just literally click the right one.
Okay. Then you put -1 and then you do
Hit enter. Hit enter. And then that answer should be 340.2969882.
Okay. Yeah.
You can also get the answers in the back of the book.
Yeah. Just to double-
Definitely, but I like to do the work because I want to
Yeah.
make sure I got the right answer.
So do
wanna know
I,
how to
but
get to
I
the
always
answer.
check my answers.
Good.
Because like even getting the answers from the back of the book, once you do the test, there's no answers. So you still have to know how to get to it.
Exactly.
So did you get 340.29, whatever?
I'll get it. I think that's what I'm messing up on.
So tonight, if you want to, Pamela, we can do a Zoom and then I can like show you on like video.
Yeah, because my daughter, she helped me with the other homework. I think I got everything else. It's just the arrow. It's just
Yeah. So
the
if you
enter-
have you have a TI 84?
83.
Okay, so there's like if you right up under your first row of letters, first row of buttons, there's like a 4-way keypad, like a up, down,
Okay.
left, right.
Okay,
So
okay.
the
Okay,
right.
I see that.
Just click the
one.
right one time and it'll bring that back down and then you'll do -1.
-1, then you press enter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, then press enter and then you go to
And
the
then
one
you should
at the
get, and then
bottom.
you should get 340. Your answer should be 340.2969882.
Okay, and then you go to
And
the
then you just hit,
bottom.
you'll just hit divide
Oh,
and it'll
okay.
automatically do the answer for you. So it'll divide the answer already for you.
Oh, okay, okay. I just have to practice.
Yeah, we'll get it.
I'll practice. Mhm.
Yeah.
All
It's just
right.
like-
If you want to do Zoom tonight, like I'm down.
Cool, that's nice
Okay.
of you. Thank you, Tori.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's see about the next one. It says, to save for the grandchildren's college expenses, Ken and Laura invest $500 each month in an ordinary annuity with 6% interest compounded monthly. Determine. Okay, so N is now different, right? P is 500. R is 0.06. And monthly, anybody know what N is?
Let me see. What is in?
12, right?
Probably 12.
Yeah,
It's
correct,
12.
because there's 12 months in 1 year. Perfect. And then T is
18 years.
18. So
18.
now, so now we just got to plug in these numbers now, and then so it's nice that we get to
Alrighty.
practice more practice.
500 close. Then it'll be 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12. Divided by 12. Close parentheses. Exponent of parentheses. 12 times 18. Close parentheses, arrow, minus 1. And then that answer is going to be divided by, close parentheses, 0.06 divided by 12. Open. So I got $193,676.60.
Yep, that's what I'm getting. Yay. So that is 193,676 and 60 because of the 7. Whoops.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
7 makes the 9 a 0, and the 9 makes the 5 a 6.
Yeah, so 60 cents. That is correct. So that's the amount that they're going to have, and the annuity after 18 years. If they put in 500 every month for 18 years. Okay, 6% interest. Nice. All right. Well, hopefully you guys practice with your calculator so that you guys can get that. Let's see what else we have here. Suppose that you just okay. So this one, let's try this one. So P is 100.
Mhm.
Each at the end of each month.
Mhm.
This one's a little complicated. Let's see. Every month. So R is 12, right? 0.12.
0.12.
N is also going to be 12 because it says here compounded monthly.
She on the phone from the LV. Do I know some LVs?
And then T. Oh, okay. This is where it gets a little tricky. T, remember T is the number of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it says 4 months. So what fraction of a year is 4 months?
A third.
A third.
Yeah, because that's 4 over 12 because
12.
there's 12 months. And so you have to divide by 12, which is 1/3. You're right. So T is 1/3. All right, so now let's plug it all in. So A equals P parentheses 1 plus 0.12 divided by N, all to the N times T. So 12 times a third minus 1, close bracket, all over 0.12 over 12. So the only tricky part to this problem was that 4 months. So you have to convert the 4 months into years, which is 4 over 12, which is 1/3 of a year. So this is how you would plug it into your calculators. And let's see what we all get.
1 plus 0.12 divided by 12. It's gonna be 12 times 1 divided by 3. Close bracket. Minus 1. Okay. And that divided by 1, 2,
I'll just wait. 'cause I'm
divided
trying to
by
have-
12. $406.04.
Yep, that's exactly what I got. $406.04. Yay. All right. This is, yeah, 12 times a third is 4 because 3 goes into 12 4 times. So if you just want to put 4 as the exponent, that would work too, instead of doing 12 times a third. All right. All right, so let's look at the next part. All right, the last thing we're gonna do. Actually, we're not gonna do the sinking funds. This is called a sinking fund. To be honest, I'm not really sure what it is. I just know that there's a formula for it. So I'll just give you the formula if you want to look into it more, but a sinking fund, but you're not required to do anything. You're not gonna be quizzed or it's not gonna be on the
If it's not
test.
gonna be on the quiz, I don't want to give myself a headache.
Yeah, I hear
Been
you.
trying to remember this stuff. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, don't worry about this. I'm just gonna write the formula, but you don't have to do this. If you get a homework problem that says sinking fund, just skip it or don't even do it.
Okay.
So, but if you're curious, then you can read up on it. The goal is to save a specific amount of money in a specific amount of time. So it's the same formula, really, except instead of solving for A, they solve for P. So they move this over here, and then they divide by this, and they end up getting this formula over here. So it's the same exact formula, it's just you're solving for P instead of solving for A this time. But yeah, we're not gonna do these, so don't worry about it. So that's pretty much it. Now you guys have, let's do one problem, and then actually, we don't have time. It's gonna be time's up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take roll, and we are done for the